Hello. Well, I wasn't expecting to do a video this early in the morning. I haven't even had my coffee yet, but I posted a couple comments on a video that I just came across, and it's by ShockOfGod, which kind of tells you right there. But I highly doubt this person will post my comments because they are anti what he wants to hear. What he did was he is proudly posting a little bit from the Atheist Experience featuring Matt, and he's basically, look at this, the atheists admit that the resurrection could be possible, and he's acting like this is a major triumph for Christianity everywhere. The actual thing that's going on in this video is, first of all, most atheists, I'm not going to say all, because there are always going to be those atheists that are just as bad as theists and walk around and act like assholes. But most atheists, at least the ones I have come across, have a I don't know or an anything is possible attitude. Until you showed me proof that a God exists, I can't believe that there's a God. I can't believe that, but it's possible. It's possible a God exists. It's possible that every science that says that every one of our sciences is wrong. It's possible that I think there are actually such a thing as flying frogs, but there's, it's possible that there are sea monsters and unicorns and dragons, and that Santa Claus is real. I mean, that's the attitude. Anything is possible, but very highly unlikely. Anyway, I want to play this video because this guy is basically, this guy calls and he's setting it up to trap Matt into admitting that his incredibly stupid, far-fetched myth is possible. And ShockOfGod is presenting this like, aha, look at that, score one for Christians. We toppled the mighty Matt, the mighty Atheist Experience. Yay, score, score, score. What a jerk. Anyway, I'm just going to play this and make my comments as I go. Kind of turn this over. There he is. Okay. Hi, Matt. Okay, what's it say? We would like to compliment the Atheist Experience show for finally admitting that Jesus' resurrection is possible and could have happened. As you will hear on this shocking video, the Christian caller finally gets the Atheist Experience show to admit the truth. Yes, the truth. Yes, the truth, because we think it's true, so it must be true. This is shocking that this would happen on an atheist show. Oh my God. They admit Jesus may have existed. Oh, I'm sorry, it says risen. Many atheists are angry and upset that on an atheist show, they would admit this. No, I'm not. I've heard them admit this before. They will admit anything exists, that anything could exist or anything could happen, because until it's proven, it's whatever. But we'd like to give them credit for admitting that Jesus may have indeed risen. You will hear the Atheist Experience show admit, not Matt, the show itself will actually admit, in this shocking, dropping call. My friend Micah 1116 is the one that got them to admit it. Whoa! They even admit the supernatural may exist. Wow! Oh, God. Please read before the video plays. The atheists here on YouTube are not happy that the Atheist Experience shows that Jesus Christ may have risen. This video is bad news for fans of the Atheist Experience show. The atheists are vividly shaken. Can we be a little bit more melodramatic? God.
Thanks, Jen. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
We've got Micah and Charlotte. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you doing?
Good.
Pretty good. What'd you call about?
I just wanted to call about the validity of the resurrection of Jesus and how it relates to the origin of life.
Sorry, one more time?
The validity of the resurrection of Jesus and how it relates to the origin of life.
Okay.
And here's my question. Since you're an atheist and I'm a theist, we both kind of have different viewpoints. I believe that the origin of life is supernatural, and you believe that it's natural.
Yes.
And would you agree that, I'm not saying there is evidence that Jesus rose from the dead.
That's good, because there is no evidence that Jesus existed at all. And I'm going to interject something really quick. There's also Mithra, who rose from the dead to save humans from hell and damnation. And Jesus Christ replaced Mithra, because Mithra only, as far as what I've read, was only something for men, and Jesus and rich men at that. And Jesus Christ was more popular because he was offering salvation to women and poor people. So anyway, it was all about getting money and getting more support, and that's why Mithraism fell, basically, was because of Christianity coming along and taking its place. So while these guys are going to say, well, it's possible that somebody did this, what's to say that Mithra didn't do this, or any of the other sun gods that came before Mithra?
If Jesus was dead for 3 days and he rose from the dead, would you agree that would be a supernatural event?
Or Mithra.
That it's not something that we see in the natural world, so therefore it's not science.
I don't know. That's not enough details.
See, and they are very good at saying they don't know. It's funny. I'd like to know, if the tables were turned, would the theist admit that he doesn't know? Theists are always so sure of themselves. Oh, well, the Bible says it, so it must be true. And look at this, what he writes here. Micah just got him here. Ooh! Notice the atheist says. He doesn't even call him by his name. He says, the atheist says he doesn't know. Oh, honesty! Somebody who isn't arrogant. Isn't that amazing? An atheist who isn't arrogant. This is exactly what Micah was waiting for. See? Micah, he's like trying to trap Matt into being an honest human being and saying, we don't know. We can only go with what the facts say and what the evidence says. And the evidence of the facts say that people don't come back to life after 3 days. And even if they do, doesn't prove anything. Doesn't prove that Jesus was a supernatural being either. Could be that Jesus was in a coma and he came back after 3 days. Ever think of that? Watch as Micah brilliantly gets the atheist experience show to admit Jesus could have risen from the dead.
See, one of the things is that death isn't extremely well defined. We pull people back from the brink of death. Yeah. So I can't say for sure that it would be supernatural. I can say that it would certainly be
extraordinary.
It would certainly be extraordinary and would seem to be supernatural.
Okay. Right. So if Jesus and all of his cells were dead for 3 days, and somehow his whole entire body was regenerated after 3 days, would you agree that would be something supernatural? At least something that's not
again,
seen
we don't
in the
know.
natural world.
We just said it would be extraordinary, but we wouldn't necessarily call it
The fact that something
supernatural.
hasn't previously been observed doesn't mean that it's necessarily unnatural. What I said when I answered your question is that
Sounds like this guy Micah is really badly wanting to manipulate Matt and put words in his mouth.
that I don't know what I would consider it. There's not enough information, but I'm willing to.
Wow, let's hear that again. Did Micah just get the atheist to, I can't actually read this word, to admit that Jesus' resurrection could in fact be supernatural on live TV also? Yes! Listen to this again. God, can we be any more stupid? You know what I think is hysterical? The theists are so desperate. I mean, what do they care if an atheist believes in their bullshit or not? Why are they so fucking desperate to trick atheists into saying that, yes, their absurd claims could possibly be true because, you know what, there's nothing to show anything one way or the other? God, I'm sorry. This whole attitude is just pissing me off.
Grant that that sort of thing might be perceived as supernatural and could in fact be. But I'm willing to grant that that sort of thing might be perceived as supernatural and could in fact be.
Oh, you're making him repeat himself. Isn't that fun? And could in fact be. And could in fact be. Yes, and there could in fact be unicorns and fairies and werewolves.
But I'm willing to grant.
I am willing to grant Jesus' resurrection could be in fact supernatural. Wow! Score one for the Christians! Yay! They got an atheist to admit that to be honest and say that we have no proof that any of this could be true or not true. Except every shred of science indicates that it's very unlikely. The atheist, again, he doesn't call him Matt, he calls him the atheist, admits that Jesus' resurrection could in fact be supernatural, and so could Mithra's resurrection be supernatural, and all the other sun gods who came before him. This could mean the resurrection of Jesus Christ. This would mean the resurrection of Jesus Christ is true and factual, and the atheists admit this could be the case. That's not what he's saying. God, you guys are so fucking desperate that you would do this. You would troll the atheist experience and look for any possible words that you can twist around and make into something else.
That sort of thing might be perceived as supernatural.
Perceived as supernatural, you fucking moron.
Could in fact be. But I'm willing to grant that sort of thing might be perceived as supernatural and could in fact.
How many times are you going to make him repeat that? Micah gets the atheist to admit that yes, Jesus rising from the dead, to quote the atheist here, he said, could in fact be supernatural. Hey, let's say that 100 times, in fact. Could in fact be supernatural. Could in fact be supernatural. Let's look at it really up close. Ooh, could in fact be supernatural. Micah gets the atheist to concede that the supernatural can indeed exist and is possible. No, he doesn't say that it's possible. He says that it could be, or it might be, or whatever, until there's actual evidence to show that it isn't possible or is possible. It's in the big could be category, just like unicorns and Pegasuses and dragons and aliens versus predators.
But you would definitely agree, since it's not something that is seen in the natural world, that at this point in time it cannot be considered science, right?
We don't know.
We don't know. Thank you.
Can't be considered science. See, everything about the phrasing about this is kind of clumsy.
I'm assuming that there wouldn't be a scientific explanation, and the answer is we don't know.
Well, no, there would be. The answer would be no, because we would have the very first occurrence, and we would then need to investigate it in order to determine. So
Micah just got them again. This is absolutely brilliant. You know, if Micah's okay, is Micah's goal then to come onto the show and try to get them? Why? Why do you care that there are people that don't believe your stupid notion of the truth? Why is this such a huge victory to you that you got these people to say, I don't know? Because they don't know. Nobody knows. You fucking don't know. You think your way is the only way, and you think your truth is the truth. You don't know. What do you have to show? What do you have besides the warm fuzzy feeling you get inside? A book. I'm sorry, you're the arrogant one, and it really annoys me. This whole attitude pisses me off more than anything. It's just so arrogant.
the time that it occurred, there wouldn't be a scientific explanation. But there's lots of things for which we don't currently have a scientific explanation. That doesn't make them supernatural.
Right, because he could be in a coma. Huh? A coma? He could have been in a coma.
Right, exactly. So if that were to, if Jesus' resurrection were indeed true, it would not be something that would have empirical support. We wouldn't have any scientific.
How many times is this guy going to repeat himself?
Well, are you saying that we couldn't use the scientific method to investigate it?
We could, but since it's something that we don't see in that, and what I'm saying is that there is a historical claim that Jesus rose from the dead.
Yes.
Okay.
And since we do not see anything, we don't see men dying for 3 days and resurrecting.
Actually, it isn't a historical claim. First of all, we have no proof that a Jesus actually existed at all. Historically, there's no claim anywhere that Jesus rose from the dead. This is all just from the Bible. As far as I know, there is no historian who was alive at the time of Jesus, or even anybody who wasn't a historian, somebody just writing home to mom. Nobody wrote a word about this event that caused this massive earthquake and the sun to go out for hours and hours and the undead to rise and walk around in the city. Not one historian during Jesus' lifetime wrote about it, and apparently there were like 1,000 witnesses who watched him ascend into heaven. Not one of them bothered to write about it. There's no written, it's not historical. It is completely in the Bible. There is not one shred of non-biblical evidence to show that this man even existed.
In the natural world that we have today. Would everyone agree with that?
Yes, I'm unaware of any confirmed case of that happening ever, including Jesus.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. So I guess here's the entire point I'm trying to make. Okay, is that we both agree that if Jesus did rise from the dead, there is no scientific evidence in the natural world that such a thing can that it's actually a natural process that a man can be dead for 3 days, his cells be dead, and somehow be regenerated after 3 days.
Making a point here, did we have a coroner go in and confirm the guy was dead? He could have been in a coma, and again, we're assuming he lived at all, which I don't think he did.
Days. Okay? So by your own logic...
Hang on. Before we get to my own logic, two quick things. You're saying we agree on something, and then the way you phrase it sounds like it was pre-written and doesn't match what I actually agreed to.
Exactly.
And then as far as my own logic, there's just logic. I don't have my own special type of logic.
Right.
Okay.
Right. But based on what you're telling me, that's what I'm saying. Based on what we both agree on, actually.
Okay.
Ooh, Matt destroys the atheist host right here. Yes, he's completely destroyed. The atheist realizes as they watch as they get vividly shaken and angry as they know they just got destroyed. Maybe they just got visibly shaken and angry because they can't believe how stupid this idiot is on the phone.
Based on what we both agree on and what you just told me, the origin of life when non-living...
I would get shaken and angry too if I had some bozo on the phone twisting around everything I said.
material became living is not science.
No, that's
supernatural.
You didn't listen to a word I said, did you?
You didn't listen to a word I said, and yet this idiot ShockOfGod writes, LOL, he got them. Using the atheist's own logic, which they already said they don't have their own logic, they admitted their belief in evolution is not science. Fuck.
No,
I was very, very clear.
They are mad at Micah, just destroyed them. Notice the anger and nervousness now. The atheist hosts are vividly shaken as they realize it's game over. They got destroyed. Oh, fuck you. God. You know, do you have anything better to do than to try to trap atheists? You know, at least we have the humility to say we don't know when we don't know things instead of strut around and go, ow, well, this is the truth. Our way is the truth, and every other way is wrong, and you're going to hell if you don't believe our way.
That we haven't observed something before doesn't tell us necessarily that it's supernatural. And the fact that we don't currently have a scientific explanation for something doesn't tell us that it's supernatural.
Right.
Right, and even if it's not supernatural, if we don't, for example, if we don't see men resurrecting after 3 days, in the natural world, science is what we can observe in the natural world, correct?
Science is the explanations for what we observe in the natural world.
Yeah, it's a method. It's not a body of knowledge.
Theory. It's not necessarily science.
The atheists are wrong here. They messed up again.
Give me your definition of a theory.
A theory is an explanation that is based on the facts that what we observe. In other words, we have a set of facts, and the theory is what explains those facts.
Right.
But you're aware that theories...
It's a broad model.
...are developed from doing science, and
notice they have to agree with what Micah just said.
The graduation point, so to speak, that there's nothing higher than a theory in science.
Right, exactly. So what I'm saying is that there are no facts that we have that support the idea that a man can be dead for 3 days and resurrect. In the same sense that there are no facts that support the idea that non-living material can become living.
Yeah, there
actually is.
Micah destroys them. There are no scientific facts that support the idea that non-living things became living. First of all, the guy could have been in a coma, assuming he existed, which there's nothing to show that he did. I'm sorry, it's absurd. This whole, I'm amazed that these guys are being as calm as they are, because this guy is clearly just twisting everything they say.
There are facts that support that.
All right, so this is the point, okay? If you believe that it's not supernatural, so there's two problems here.
There's more than that.
Yeah.
There's probably quite a few. If the resurrection of Jesus is either supernatural or it's not,
the atheists are stuck. If they admit non-life can turn into life, then they can't deny even the resurrection of Jesus. They are stuck. You know, if your truth is so pathetically desperate that you have to trap atheists into saying things that aren't to fit whatever delusion you have, you're the ones that are stuck. So the atheist guy here knows it, so he has to bite the bullet and see the resurrection of Jesus is possible. LOL. And this is an atheist show. Ah ha ha ha.
No facts to support that such a thing can happen. It's the exact same thing with the origin of life.
Except for two things. Number one, you've got a dichotomy there that is, while it's valid, is completely crazy. It's not a way that you want to phrase things of it's either supernatural or we don't have scientific facts. But the thing is, when you're talking about abiogenesis, we do have facts that have been investigated by science. We don't fully understand abiogenesis. We don't understand everything about it, but we have, in the laboratory, demonstrated that it is possible for natural material, by purely natural mechanisms, to give rise to the building blocks of life.
Right. And here's the issue of that. I've actually studied this quite a bit. This whole theory of abiogenesis can't even get to the step of producing a protein. What we can do is...
No.
Oh, Micah knows more about this than both of the hosts in their entire show combined. So here he schools them. Notice the guy on the right starts nervously playing with his cop.
No. For somebody who's studied this quite a bit, I just... this is baffling because
let me give an example.
Can't get to the step of producing a protein. Do you realize how much further down the chain a protein is than just the building blocks of living material? That you're objecting to somebody not being able to create a 747.
Right, and I'm assuming you know what a protein is, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. However, I'm wondering why we're going through all of this. Because there's a fundamental problem at the base.
We're going through all of this, Matt, because they are trying to get you to say what they want you to say. They have this all scripted out, and they're manipulating you to say things that are absurd. But that's okay, because you're an honest guy, and you're going to continue to say that anything is possible, and we don't know.
To this. And one of them is this. There's absolutely nothing that we can investigate with regarding the resurrection of Jesus. It's a historical claim. There's no scientific evidence for it.
And so is abiogenesis.
No.
It's also a historical claim.
No, because abiogenesis, we can never say what actually happened, how our life formed, unless we actually find historic evidence to support that. No.
It's also a historical claim.
No, because abiogenesis, we can never say what actually happened, how our life formed, unless we actually find historic evidence to support that. No.
It's also a historical claim.
No, because abiogenesis, we can never say.
How many times are we going to have to repeat this? This is already getting to be a 23-minute long video. So I'm going to end it. This is pissing me off. You know, I think it's rather sad and pathetic that these guys, when I first started watching YouTube, this one guy gets on and goes, ever since, what did he say? He says something about atheists are like, Christians are like the, or atheists are like the cat, and they're trying to play with them, and it's like, this is what. It's the other way around. I'm sorry. It's like Christians look at atheists like we're something that, I don't know. Let's try to get them. You know, we so desperately need everybody to agree with us and agree with our truth that we'll do anything in our power to trick atheists into saying something like, "Ooh, I don't know," or, "Well, it's possible." You know, it is possible. Anything's possible. But again, there was nobody there to confirm that the guy was really dead. And who's to say he even lived? And my biggest point is, if it is possible, then why are we all following Jesus? Why aren't we all following Mithras? And what if it was Mithras who was the real Son of God? And what if when we die, we find out that all of us are going straight to hell because we didn't believe Mithras? You know, we went after this cult that came after Mithras, and we forsake Mithras. Anyway, I'm done. I just can't believe the attitude. And what's really funny is the printed words that pop up on the screen that are so fucking arrogant. It's scary. Oh, well, the atheist just was destroyed. No, he's actually being truthful and answering the guy's questions to the best of his ability, and the guy is the one with the script playing with them. So I think it's pretty bad for him. That's all. Thanks for listening. Bye.